Hey, what's up, everybody? It is episode number 736 of Let There Be Talk. Welcome to the show. It is February, 12th, the day after the Super Bowl. God damn. Did you guys watch the game? Holy shit. 49ers lost, but what a fucking game, huh? Oh my God. I did not see the halftime show, not because I'm not like a Usher hater or whatever, but I was you know, I headed out to get a coffee at halftime. They said it was going to be a 45-minute halftime. I go, perfect time to go out and get a coffee and then come back in. I was going to do the podcast last night, but after the 49ers lost, I was at, oh, spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the game yet, they lost. But what a drag. Anyway, that game was fantastic. And, the Super Bowl, what a fucking fiasco that is. I was watching some stuff. Some people bought two like Diet Cokes in the 16-ounce bottle at, at a hotel or whatever. It was like $33. They're just robbing everybody out there Super Bowl weekend. I was there the week before and it was all mellow, and then you go this weekend and they just surge charge like a Uber from the airport to the hotel, which is seriously like about a 7-minute ride, $100. And mine was $21 just a week before. Insane. It is a shit show, man, to go to the Super Bowl in a good city. I don't know what it was in LA last year. I think the Super Bowl was there last year. Yeah, SoFi. And I don't know what the upcharge was, but I know Vegas was ready to do some robbing. Everybody's trying to fill the pockets since COVID. Man, we got to make up for COVID. It's been a few years. Let's keep robbing people. Anyway, what a fucking game. Hats off to the 49ers. Man, they look so fucking good and they just couldn't you know, end it. They just could not end it. But this team has some weapons and they will be back next year, hopefully. And Purdy will just get better and better. What a story. If he would have won the Super Bowl, oh my God. From going the last picked in the draft, like number 276, to the Super Bowl. And yeah, man, there it is. Super Bowl 58 is in the fucking books. And yeah, I was bummed. That's the thing. Like, I wasn't watching football for years, so I had no heartstrings. Now, over the last, I don't know, 4 years or so, or the last time the Niners lost to Kansas City was when I was like, yeah. And there I was yesterday. As soon as they lost, I immediately left the Super Bowl party I was at, grabbed Gertie, went down the stairs, went home, went to bed, 9 o'clock. Just bummed. What an adrenaline ride, though. That fucking game was crazy. I mean, fumbles, interceptions, 57-yard field goals, breaking records. It was crazy. And yeah, there it is. Anyway, how are you guys? Dog, what are you doing over there, Gertie? Gertie just woke up from her nap. How are you guys? We got a lot to dive in today. It's a solo episode. So glad you're here. And thanks for tuning in the last few weeks. Just incredible guests. We had Shane Torres, the comedian, good friend of mine. We had Steve Vai. We had Joe Bonamassa. And we had the great Josh Homme. So it's been a great, great month. And thank you, like I always said, for tuning in. Patreon is going to have a bonus episode this week. Also, I'm tweaking the Patreon a little bit. You're going to be able to watch the Patreon episodes with no ads. So I'll be offering that up. You can watch it ad-free if you are on my Patreon. Oh, which, by the way, I want to give a shout out to some of the new Patreoners. And there will be a bonus episode this week. Tyler Fox, welcome aboard. Cecily J, Kenny Abel, Lisa Haney, and Steve Ronan. Thank you for joining up. Muchas gracias, as they say down in Cabo Wabo. Anyway, those are the new Patreoners. And let me see here. I got a lot of I think it's like 125 bonus episodes. Oh no, it's 152 bonus episodes on Patreon. So you want to catch up on all kinds of back episodes of solo Delray, go ahead and check that out. Thank you for joining the Patreon. Let's get right into the news of the day. Today is Monday, and of course, ACDC has finally, excuse me, announced their tour dates. Let me get this up here real quick. And of course, I've known about it for a while, but I didn't want to spoil it. I knew who the bass player was for about 3 weeks. I didn't want to give that away. And I will get into my thoughts here on the bass player selection and talk to you a little bit about that. Here it is. So far, only the European dates have been announced, and it's 21 of them, it looks like. It's all over Europe. You got Italy, Spain, Germany, the Netherlands, Austria, Switzerland, England, Slovakia, Belgium, France, Ireland. That's all this summer. Interesting thing about the ACDC tour announcement was it didn't really say like celebrating 50 years. It didn't say farewell tour. It didn't say this is it, any of that. So that was kind of interesting to me. Let me go to the website real quick, because I just don't know how ACDC is going to keep going unless Angus's idea is to keep getting younger guys to play the role of the other guys. Who knows? Eventually, even another singer. Who knows? Because if after they do this run, and let's say they do the States, which they will do the States, I know that, by then it'll be another year, and Brian will be way older, and then Angus will be older, obviously. And I don't know if they're just going to, in an ACDC fashion, just kind of disappear like they do everything, keep it all mystique, and just, disappear. And there it is. You're like, what happened to ACDC? You don't hear it, I don't know. But they did not say that this is the farewell tour. They didn't say 50-year anniversary tour, which it is the 50-year anniversary of ACDC. None of that. I'm looking at it right now. So I don't know. Always a mystery with ACDC, which keeps it cool, I think. It keeps it really wild. I think one day somebody will come out. Who knows? Maybe Brian will do a real documentary or something of the behind the scenes. And nobody can do any of that now. You'd be fired, and there's all kinds of NDAs you have to sign, stuff like that. But it's always a mystery with that band. And it does make it cool, because you're like, well, wait a minute. They just dropped the tour dates. They don't say anything. They say Power Up. That was the record that they were promoting when they did the podcast a few years ago. And, I don't know. But I will tell you this, congrats to Chris Chaney on the bass. And I can understand what they're going for here in the other positions, because there were thoughts, people were coming at me nonstop. it's going to be Duff McKagan. It's like, no, man. Now, look, they had Axel fill in, and they kind of needed that to a name guy to keep the the ticket sales, so people don't go, I want my money back, Brian's not there. They go, Axel, oh, that might be cool, and they go, a super rock star. But when it comes to the other guys, you can't have like a Duff McKagan, or say any kind of other superstar type of bass player up there. You need to have guys that are almost like a thick blend of camouflage up there. Because I said this a couple days ago to somebody, as much as I fucking worship Cliff Williams, 98% of the people that love the song Shook Me All Night Long don't even know who the people are in the band. So the more that you keep it in that type of flavor of just putting, a Matt Luge up there and Chris Chaney. Now, I know Chris Chaney, and a lot of people in the LA music scene know Chris Chaney because he is a superstar bass player and always one of the go-to guys for studio and those big kind of rock jams like the Royal Machines and Camp Freddy and all of that. And I've known him for years. He grew up in the Bay Area. He was really good friends with my buddy Heath, who worked at Real Guitars. And, he played with Alanis Morissette. And I would see him all the time, all over town. Great player and, solid human. So you got to get a guy that's a killer player. And then you got to get a guy who can, not overplay. You don't want to get a fucking flea up there, fucking those about to rock. You got to get a guy who can lay it down, who looks good, who's not fucking, 30 years old. The band's fucking 90. Can't have some awkward looking young dude up there. And you can't have some old burnout tumbleweed out of shape guy because, they're going to be doing 3-hour shows. You can't have this guy used to be in Foghat. Now he's in ACDC. But he's got a drinking problem, but he'll be okay out on the tour. We'll watch after him. It's got to be a fucking pro dude, almost like a robot, just slips into that spot, stands in front of the SVTs, lays down the fucking groove of Livewire, just back there pedaling it. Same with Matt Luge. People are like, well, who's this guy? You couldn't get some star guy's name. Now that I've thought about it over the last couple of weeks, because it starts to become what I think Angus will eventually end up doing, hopefully, would be Angus Young and Friends, where I've said it before, where he just tours and he has like a group of people, like 10 guys, and they rotate in throughout the night. You get to see like, Dave Grohl and, Brad Wilk or Josh Freese rotate through the drums. You get to see different dudes on the bass and vocals, different singers. I don't know, but I'll tell you this right now. Chris Chaney's a great fucking choice. He is the perfect well-respected in the musical world, and will just blend in up there to where people will just be like, oh, I don't know, they sound great, So there it is. Hats off to that. No US dates. The US dates will be coming. Guarantee that. People ask me if I will see ACDC. I am very happy now that I went to Power Trip, because that will be my last ACDC show in the books from 78 to 2003. That's my ACDC chapter right there. And I'm so happy I got to see Cliff Williams' last gig. I also saw Malcolm on his last tour. I saw Bon on his last tour, and I've seen Phil Rudd on his last tour, which, by the way, we're putting to rest finally, which I've said it over and over and over. It was definitely not a passport issue with Phil Rudd playing Power Up, or yeah, a Power Trip, Power Up. Just like I said, man, those guys have enough money and lawyers. They could have got Phil Rudd in anywhere. If you can get Phil Rudd into Canada to do a record, Canada is the worst. If you just have a drunk driving, you can't fucking get into Canada without paying all kinds of fees. So it was not that, definitely. And it's definitely proof now, because there they are doing all of Europe and there's no Phil Rudd. I already knew it wasn't that, because like I said, when you have that amount of money and power, you can get anybody in the States. No problem, especially these days. Anybody can get into the States these days. But so there's that last mystery of Phil Rudd. I guess he's fired again, or, he didn't quit. But when I did interview Phil Rudd, if you watched the interview, I wasn't quite sure how his health was as I interviewed him. So I think it's a health thing, or maybe there's some physical things, like Cliff Williams saying he had some physical and mental stuff that he didn't want to tour anymore. Maybe Phil is not saying it, but maybe his fucking hands, or who knows, shoulders, drummers, man, they're all fucked up. We don't know. We never will know, but it'll eventually get leaked out somehow. Or maybe he'll get cuckoo and get online and be like, they fucking burned me. I don't know. But there it is. That puts the Phil Rudd thing, unfortunately, to rest. He was the greatest drummer of ACDC. And it's funny how people try to argue that, like, Chris Slade should have been back in. That's not going to happen. And then also, what's the guy's name from fucking Right? He's not going to be back in either, because that ship sailed a million years ago. And so there it is. The AC/DC tour dates for so far. Europe are out. Are you excited to go? Let me know. Hit me up on the Instagram and Twitter and stuff. People say, should I go? If you haven't seen AC/DC, fuck yeah, you should go. You should go see any band if you haven't seen a band and you've always wanted to see them. That's what I say, man. Get out there and see these bands before they go away. But, if you've seen AC/DC a bunch, and maybe you're, look, AC/DC has insane fans. There's some Instagram accounts that are just going crazy. Like, I'm going to 10 dates and stuff. So, just for me at this point in my life, 58 years old, I'm going to just close that chapter and take the incredible memories of Power Trip and a thank you to AC/DC for a million years of unbelievable fucking entertainment. Concerts are just embedded in my brain, and just incredible happy memories. So I'm good with my retirement from seeing AC/DC live, unless I'm up there for some weird reason singing. That will be it. Power Trip. Okay. Some more thoughts. We had the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announcements. The inductions for 2024 came out a couple days ago. Some great names on there. Let me fucking get into them right here. And I do not waste time anymore. Like I said last year, I'm not going to waste any more time going, this isn't rock and roll. This is bullshit, man. Blah, blah. Fucking get over it. Either watch it or don't watch it. Nobody cares the week after they get inducted anyway. You don't hear anyone ever talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ever, except the day they make the announcement of the nominees. And then you don't hear shit ever. If the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame didn't have any inductees each year or nominees, you would never, ever, ever hear about it. It would just be something you'd check out if you were on vacation for some reason in Cleveland. It's the only time people talk about it. And it's also really one of the couple times a year when I just see full racism come out. People are like, fucking Ice Cube. Oh. Fucking, what they're saying is like, yeah, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should be rock and roll. It's like, I don't know. It's fucking funny. Let's look at it. Here we go. Mary J. Blige. I wouldn't put her on this list, not because she's R&B or hip hop or soul or whatever you want to call it. I would not vote for her or Mariah Carey. I vote for people first that influence those people. So Kool and the Gang's on there, 100%. Sade, 100%. Before Mariah Carey and Mary J. Blige, Sade has to go in. It's like my point I always say, Devo, before fucking 9 Inch Nails, and Kraftwerk before 9 Inch Nails. That's just how it's got to go. You got to put the originator in there before you put the influencer. Anyway, yeah. So Cher, hell yes, put Cher in there for sure. That woman is pure rock and roll. Had her own TV show, Sonny and Cher show, had a ton of hits, killed it in the acting game, and then had a huge comeback in the 80s with massive fucking videos and hits. And Cher is rock and roll, man. She's got a son who's rock and roll. Oh my God, you got to put Cher in. Dave Matthews. I'm not a Dave Matthews fan, but Dave Matthews definitely should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's been selling millions of records and touring at the highest level for years and years. And, he definitely is rock and roll, and he definitely deserves to be in there. Eric B. and Rakim, 100% ground floor of hip hop, which I've said it many, many times. Hip hop is rock and roll, the old stuff, especially, the gangster rap, that shit is fucking like metal. And, Eric B. and Rakim, these guys are some of the originators. So yeah, you got to put them in. Now, here we go. Let's get into this. I can't even fucking believe that Peter Frampton is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, look, I'll support your argument over like, hey, man, Mariah Carey shouldn't be in there. What you mean is Mariah Carey shouldn't be in there before Peter Frampton. Because don't get it wrong. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has just become like a music Hall of Fame is what it really is now. Rock and roll was the popular term and popular music for many, many, many years, but now it's not as high on the totem pole. So eventually they might even just change this thing to the Music Hall of Fame, the name. And then it would still have those complainers. Man, this is bullshit. Anyway, Peter Frampton. How the fuck is Peter Frampton not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the first 5 years? Are you kidding me? Do you feel like I do? Oh my God. I mean, Peter Frampton, his body of work is just unbelievable, you know? And for him not to be in, I couldn't even believe he wasn't in yet. Foreigner, 100%. Foreigner is so fucking good and underrated. Also, they polluted the brand over the last few years by having no original members out there touring. But man, you could not turn your radio on every day, FM dial or Sirius XM without hearing Foreigner. The number of fucking hits that this band has is unreal, man. I absolutely love Foreigner. And I was talking to a buddy of mine, right? Like, Foreigner's so great. He's like, oh, they're no good. I was like, what are you, crazy? Foreigner is fucking amazing. Cold as Ice, Double Vision, Foreigner 4, the first record, all of them loaded with hits. Pure fucking solid rock and roll. Just incredible. Foreigner, 100% should be in there immediately, which will be interesting too. If they do get nominated, do not bring any of those, guys up from the last 5 years. That's fucking ridiculous. Get the OG guys, Lou Gramm, Mick Jones, all the OG guys, and bring them in that are alive still and give them the proper glory. These guys wrote some amazing fucking songs, man. And if you haven't listened to Foreigner in a while, do yourself a favor. Just go fire up, Foreigner greatest hits, whatever. Voice is trash today from fucking screaming and yelling at the 49er game yesterday. So my picks. Okay, then we got Jane's Addiction. Great fucking band. First two albums are just mind-boggling. Kool and the Gang. Lenny Kravitz. Slam dunk. Slam dunk. Lenny Kravitz all fucking day long. I remember when Lenny Kravitz came out with Let Love Rule record. It was Tom Petty had just released that Into the Great Wide Open. He had Lenny Kravitz open the tour. And man, I was just blown away how great Lenny was. Mr. Cab Driver, Let Love Rule. I mean, that first record is so fucking, hold on. Let me get the tracks on this fucking thing. Lenny Kravitz, which by the way, he's got a new record coming out, and maybe one day I'll get him on a fucking podcast, man. Be so great to have Lenny Kravitz on. His record, Mama Said, 1991, he should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just on that record alone. But here it is right here. Sitting on Top of the World. Great. Let Love Rule. Freedom Train. I'm on the Freedom Train. Come on, dance on the Freedom Train. My Precious Love. I Build This Garden for Us. Oh, Fear. Does anybody out there even care? Mr. Cab Driver. Rosemary. B. Oh, my God. Blues for Sister Someone. Empty Hands. Flower Child. This record is a masterpiece. His next record, Mama Says, is a masterpiece. And it is insane how great he is and how long he's been churning out, just crushing rock, killing it on the guitar. I remember seeing him in Germany. I was out on the GNR Illusions tour, and the bill was Lenny Kravitz, Black Crowes, Faith No More, GNR. Lenny Kravitz was on the Mama Said record. Faith No More was on the Angel Dust record. And Black Crowes, I can't remember. I think they might have been on Southern Harmony. What a fucking day of rock, that lineup. Anyway, Lenny Kravitz. Home run. He's in immediately with me. Oasis, 100% Oasis. Immediately. Man, I love how Liam immediately went to his Instagram. Fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I would almost have been shocked if he didn't say that. You know, he's got to say that just to act like, I don't care, which means he does care when he goes on and says that. Fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You'll be there. Who you fooling? If you get in, you will be there. Sinead O'Connor, which, by the way, I fucking love Oasis. Sinead O'Connor passed away. Rest in peace. Passed away last year. I'm not a Sinead O'Connor. I didn't listen to her. I'm not going to sit there and act like I did. I did see her a couple times over the years, on like big TV events and stuff, but that's basically all I really saw. A Tribe Called Quest. Great, great Tribe Called Quest. Definitely should be in, but I'm going to make my picks right here. I don't know how many get to go in. I should have looked that up, but for me, it would be Cher, Eric B. and Rakim, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, Jane's Addiction, Kool and the Gang, Lenny Kravitz, Oasis, Sade. And then Ozzy's there for solo, but look, those Ozzy solos records are fucking fantastic, but might have to let him in next year or something. He's already in with Black Sabbath. So let's get Sade in, who I will tell you this right now is one of the greatest of all time. And I've seen her live twice, and her songwriting and her voice and everything about her knocks me the fuck out. And I listen to her weekly still to this day. She is unreal, which, by the way, happy 82 birthday to Carole King over the weekend. 82. So there they are, the rock and roll nominees 2024. Let me know in the on the social medias who you'd be wanting in. Kool and the Gang is so fucking great. I was talking about last week, I was talking about Heat Wave, all of that music back then. Heat Wave, Kool and the Gang, Lakeside, Earth, Wind and Fire, Curtis Mayfield. Man, all of that stuff I listen to still to this day. Kool and the Gang is so fucking good, man. I mean, come on. What a fucking group. Oasis killer. There it is. Who would you want in the Rock Hall there? Let me know. And give it a shout in the social medias. Over the weekend, I've been diving back into some speaker madness. I've had these DVLA speakers from France for, I don't know, about 4 years or so. And they were really the digital speaker that got me to sell my records and my turntable and everything as I'm trying to get into this minimalist lifestyle. I'm almost there. I would say I'm about 90% there. I only have shit I really need other than my absurd collection of rock and roll t-shirts and rock and roll photography, which I'm trying to thin out, but I need to sell the photos. They're fucking valuable and very cool photos. So I'm not just going to give them away or something because they're worth something. But I'm getting down to the minimalism life and it's feeling pretty good. 58 years old, down to just really what I need. I could even thin it out more, which I keep trying. Each year, I try to thin it out. But I got these speakers, DVLA, because they were kind of the first digital streaming speaker that blew my fucking mind. And as the streaming platforms got better, say Tidal and Lossless on Amazon and HD streaming, as the streaming gets better and better and better every year, it made it easier to cut loose of the records. And man, was I addicted to buying vinyl for a while. But then I'm never home. I'm always on the road doing comedy. And I was like, I got all these records. I'm not here to really put them on and just sit on the couch. Maybe if I was fucking 70 and retired and just chilling around the house. But I'm never chilling. I can't chill. I've tried to chill. I can't chill. So I sold them all because these DVLAs knocked me out. But the DVLAs, the thing is, they're built to be played fucking loud and with some serious bass. The bass on them is unbelievable. I mean, you've never heard a bass on a speaker like this ever. It's just straight up like super hip hop, just boom, 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 boom. And my one bedroom apartment neighbors do not need the sub sound. So I'm starting to think about maybe sizing down a little bit just for something that sounds as good and but not crazy. I don't listen to loud music anymore either. I don't listen to my shit up on fucking 6 or 7 or 8. I just put the music on around 4 or 5 and just chill out. My loud music days are over. When I'm at a concert, those fucking earplugs are in. Another reason I'm winding down the concert time because I'm trying to not hear the concert. When I'm there, I'm like, man, I got these earplugs in. Do we got anything else? You know? So I started looking into other speakers. Now, let me tell you, the DVLA is one of the greatest sounding speakers I've ever fucking heard. And you're streaming and you cannot believe it. And once you get addicted to the just, streaming speakers, it's tough to not just go to it all the time. And there's all kinds of good low end stuff. I've got a little Marshall streaming speaker I bring on the road with me. It's like, looks like a cube of butter. Any hotel room, that thing comes out of the bag and I turn it on. And I really love those Apple round ones, those kind of round pods. Forget what that's called, but those sound great. So I started diving in, but I'm looking for something that is high end. Delray likes the high end shit. And the stuff that where people go like, I can't believe you fucking spent that amount of money on that. It's like, yeah, but I don't smoke cigarettes or drink booze, so I'm fucking good. I don't do drugs. So this is where I spend my money, on a nice pair of speakers. So I looked into it over the weekend, and there's some newer streaming speakers out that I didn't know about. Now, DVLA is they have 3 different sizes. They have a small kind of egg, then they have a big egg, and the big egg comes in 2 different wattages, like 100 watts, or it's not it's not wattage, it's dB. One is 98 dB, the other one is 108 dB. 108 is fucking cranking. But my thing is, I found that the 98 dB, not that it's not about volume. To me, it's just about space when the music comes out, how it sounded. Like these 108 ones, once you have that, you're fucked, because the aura of the sound coming out of the speakers is so incredible. You're like, I can't even believe how good this fucking sounds. So that's the DVLAs. And a lot of people say, would you recommend them? I've been recommending them for years, but there's a new fucking crushing speaker in town that I like. Bowers and Wilkins Formation Duo. And I was talking to a guy Saturday about the speakers. I was in a high-end audio shop in West Hollywood. And he had these Bowers and Wilkins, and they look fucking cool. They look like Darth Vader. You're looking at it. And the simplicity of these streaming speakers are great. You download an app for DVLA or Bowers and Wilkins, or the other one I was looking at was Kef LS50. And then all your streaming platforms are in the app. So if you're using Tidal or if you're using iTunes or Amazon or any of those, there it is. And you're just playing right out of the app. And some of the apps are way fucking better than the other apps, the companies. Like, some you can adjust the treble, bass, and you can roll off all kinds of EQ and shit on them. The DVLA one's pretty basic. You can either turn the bass off or on, not all the way off, but what they call night mode. So you're not getting, destroy your neighbor's bass. So I looked into this one here, the Bowers and Wilkins, and they're like $5,000 for the pair, but I immediately found them for 3,500 on the internet. And they are, let's see, how tall are they? Like 15 inches tall by 12 deep and 7 wide. And they look really cool. And they support AirPlay, Bluetooth, Rune Ready, Spotify, Connect, and Wi-Fi. And they, you're just streaming right out of your Wi-Fi for the highest. You don't want to be Bluetooth. You want to be streaming out of the Wi-Fi. This is all kind of nerdy shit, but that's how you're going to get the highest resolution. So I've been checking out these Bowers and Wilkins Formation Duo, and I might be making a switch because I don't play music, like I said, loud. And I think that the DVOA, you need to get them up around 4 or 5 to push air and to really give them their glory. You don't want to get a speaker that's made to turn up to 108 dB and you're only playing them at like 20 dB or something. You're not using the speaker, so why have them? Now, I have not made this decision yet. And when I look into that, I dive way deep. I watch a million fucking videos, and no one seems to have the answers of the DVLA versus the Bowers and Wilkins formation. Nobody has a review of them side by side, except for a couple dudes that are like in Hong Kong and they're not speaking English. I'm like, shit. And I went down to the shop and they had both, but they did not have the DVLA set up in stereo, 2 of them. They only had 1. So I'm listening to 2 Bowers and Wilkins against 1 DVLA. And, it's really tough because the DVLA sounds fucking great. They're heavy as fuck. They're like a fucking bowling ball, which is crazy. Anyway, so I will let you know, but if anybody has used these Bowers and Wilkins Formation Duo or this other one, now I have not heard this one in person yet, KEF, K-E-F, the LS50. They look cool as fuck too. They're like a square with an orange cone. If anybody's used those, get at me on the social medias or hit me on Instagram, DM, and let me know because, speakers are fucking, it's nuts with speakers because if you make the wrong move, you're like, I got the wrong fucking speakers. Or you could be that person that just buys the speakers and you never think about it again. I don't know, but the DVLAs have been pretty fucking killer, but man, I'm just not going to be playing loud music. My ears are trashed. I'm old. I like low, super clean sounding streams. So let me know. Those are the 3 that I've narrowed it down to that I can tell online that are high-end streaming speakers. And which, by the way, Bowers and Wilkins makes one that's even more money, but they're like tall, big speakers. I don't want tall. I'm talking about like bookshelf type of, apartment speakers. So anyway, let me know what you think. Got some shows coming up. Live shows coming up, my friends. this weekend, Palm Springs with Bill Burr. We're going to be out there 2 nights. We're going to dive into the modernism weekend. Go check out Elvis Presley's honeymoon house, the Kreisel, that Kreisel built. We're going to see the Frank Sinatra house and do some comedy. And then we're off to Portland, Oregon, Trailblazers Arena, and Rogers Arena in Vancouver, and then Salt Lake City, where the Jazz play, whatever that arena is called. So check that out. Also, tickets on sale for me headlining Minneapolis at the Acme Comedy Company. Cannot wait to do that. Please get your tickets in advance for these headlining shows because it takes the stress off of me. I keep promoting them. And then I'm going to be at the Comedy Fort in Fort Collins, Colorado, headlining, which would be great. And then the mic drop in San Diego. All the tour dates are on DeanDelray.com. Check that out. Tour dates. Get your tickets. Hope to see you out there. And episodes brought to you by StandardandStrange.com. My one-stop denim, leather jacket, and boot shop. New York City, Berkeley, and New Mexico, or online, StandardandStrange.com, carrying all my favorite brands, Momotaro, Y2 Leathers, the Real McCoys, Buco, and on and on and on, man. They got the best stuff there. Oh, I love them. That is the StandardandStrange.com. StandardandStrange.com. Check them out on Instagram. Tell them I sent you. Okay. Couple more things and we'll get out of here. I appreciate you guys joining me, like I said, every week. And it means a lot to me. Over the weekend, speaking of shows, Bill Burr's doing the Hollywood Bowl. So we took a little helicopter trip over to the Hollywood Bowl and just flew over it. It was so cool to fly over the Hollywood Bowl. A lot of people have never been to the Hollywood Bowl. And I will tell you this right now. It's one of the greatest venues in America. You got Red Rocks, you got Hollywood Bowl, you have the Gorge out there. I'm talking about outdoor venues. The Gorge is fantastic out there in the Seattle area. And Santa Barbara Bowl is fucking killer. There's nothing like outdoor rock and roll. I've said it before, man. Just seeing rock stars in the daylight, it's really bizarre. But the venues just feel fun and festive. And you're just outdoors. There's something about it that always felt like, here comes the summer. We're going to see some fucking outdoor concerts. And the Hollywood Bowl is just been one of my favorites for years. I've seen so many amazing shows. I saw Eddie Van Halen's last show ever. Van Halen played their last show at the Hollywood Bowl. They started in Hollywood, they ended in Hollywood. Long live the great Eddie Van Halen. I saw Tom Petty's last show ever at the Hollywood Bowl. The great Lucinda Williams opened up. I saw Kraftwerk 3D at the Hollywood Bowl. You put on fucking 3D glasses and they put on this 3D show. It was insane. I just saw GNR there recently. Tons and tons of shows over my lifetime in there. Black Sabbath, Rival Sons. You know, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. But it is one of the greatest venues. Of course, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to park because it was built in the fucking 30s or something when people were taking stagecoaches to the concert, pony rides. And over the years, they've had to adapt to the over explosion of population in Los Angeles. But I feel they've done it pretty fucking good. You can park about a mile or two away and get in a shuttle bus, and you're instantly at the venue. You can park like a half mile away in Hollywood and walk to it. And I know people in LA walk. That's fucking dumb. I want to be let off right at the front, and you better be here when I fucking come out instantly, or I'm giving you a bad rating. Anyway, the Hollywood Bowl is spectacular. And so we flew over it in the copter, And to really get to see it, man, just the houses around it, pretty fucking cool. And then we flew all over Malibu a couple days ago. It's interesting. I posted up the video, got 500,000 views, which was fucking wild. But I always trip on those people that immediately just start throwing like negativity and bad vibes and mojo at it. Like, oh man, you're gonna fucking crash like Kobe. Yeah, you fucking guys up there, you're gonna fucking go down. It's like, first of all, why would you say that to somebody you're supposed to be a fan of? Like, oh, I just care, man. I don't want you in the helicopter, man. We need you around. It's like, dude, I look out my window and there's probably like 100 helicopters a day. You maybe hear about a crash every fucking 10 years or something, you know? And these people act like the helicopter was made in somebody's backyard, on some fucking meth. I'll put together I'll put together myself fucking whirlybird. I'm gonna fucking get up there, man. I know what I'm doing. I took fucking metal shop. I took some metal shop and I got fucking internets and a couple good bumps. I'll put together I got some old shower curtains and some aluminum railroad ties. I'm gonna make me a whirlybird. These things are fucking state of the art. This ain't the fucking 30s, They're state of the art. Shit goes down. You know what else goes down? Fucking planes. And you know what else goes down? Car crashes all fucking day. All day in LA. All day in LA. All day in the world. All day in the United States. Car crashes. People dying in cars every day, all day. Nobody's getting on there going, dude, don't get in that car, man. Dude, you're dumb getting in that fucking car, man. You get in that fucking car and you're gonna fucking die. Nobody ever says that about a car. And more people die in cars than anything, I think. I didn't look up that fucking number, but I think it's cars and cancer should be your fear. Helicopters, man, they're fucking scary and weird and fucking cool. You get up in it, you're like, this is insane. It's scary just because it's just so weird. You're just floating, man. It's wild. You're just like, oh. I can't describe the feeling, man. It's scary and exhilarating at the same time, and it's beautiful. You're just looking out there, man. You're just flying around like we're over the ocean. You're looking down. You're looking for great white sharks and shit out there. It's so fucking cool. You got to fucking quit acting like the helicopter is, like I said, some meth head's whirlybird. These things are the helicopter, they tear them down. They take them apart. I think it's like every 10,000 hours or something and rebuild them. They're like brand new every like fucking year. So anyway, quit throwing that fucking crazy shade on helicopters, It's yeah. Some key dudes went down. Kobe, fucking brutal. I'll never forget that. Stevie Ray Vaughan, unbelievable. Bill Graham. But there's always a backstory when you look at the crash. You're like, oh, well, they shouldn't have been fucking flying. Fog, heavy storm, rain, shit like that. So yeah, man, that's just my little fucking heads up to you out there. Just it's a beautiful, beautiful fucking thing to be able to fly over the Hollywood Bowl. I mean, fuck, dude, I skydived. You know how much more insane that is than fucking helicopter flight? Skydive, I did it twice. I'll never do that again. At 58, I'm like, I'm not skydiving ever again. That was early on in life where I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm crazy. Let's go skydive after being up all night. Let's do that. I'd never skydive now. Fuck no, man. It is. I still can't believe I did it before. It's so fucking scary. Oh my God. Oh, tree hats. I got a few tree hats left. There it is right here, the tree hat. I got dark brown and I got tan. We got another order in. They're almost gone. So get your tree hat, some merch on deandelray.com. Tour dates are there. And thank you for tuning in. Join the patreon.com/DeanDelRay. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. Who do you want in? And also your thoughts on ACDC touring. Is this it? What do you think? Is this going to be it this last year? Who knows? But anyway, thank you guys. And congrats one more time to Chris Chaney on the 4 strings right there out of the Bay Area. Another killer. And go Niners next year. I love you guys.